My name is Toni Preckwinkle. I'm president of the Cook County Board of Commissioners. This is a position I've held for the last 8 years. Prior to that time, I was alderman of the 4th Ward in the city of Chicago for 19 years. However, by profession, I am a high school history teacher. Cook County government has two historic legacy obligations. One is public health and the other is public safety. Half of our budget is public health. Half of our budget. We've worked very hard over the last 8 years to make that healthcare system sustainable with great help and support from the Affordable Care Act. So we have 2 hospitals, Stroger and Provident. We have 16 clinics around the county. And in addition, we now have a Medicaid expansion program called County Care, which serves 350,000 county residents. And as a result of the Affordable Care Act Medicaid expansion, our healthcare system for the first time in 180 years was in the black in 2015 and 2016. So I'm very grateful to President Obama for the Affordable Care Act, and I know the 350,000 people in Cook County who've gotten health care coverage as a result of the Affordable Care Act are grateful as well. So sustainability of our health care system, which is half our budget, that's my first priority. My second priority is to continue to work on criminal justice reform. 39% of our budget is public safety, so that's the jail and the courts, and we have a small police force that serves unincorporated Cook County. When we started out, I said we have entirely too many people accused of nonviolent crimes who await the disposition of their cases in the jail. In 2010, we had about 10,000 people in our jail, the overwhelming majority of whom were accused of nonviolent crimes, accused and not convicted. When we had 10,000 people in the jail, 7% were serving a sentence, 93% were awaiting trial. They're called pretrial detainees. And of those 93% who were awaiting trial, 70% of them were awaiting trial for nonviolent crimes. Low-level drug offenses, prostitution and shoplifting, the things people do to get money for their drugs, not paying their child support, not paying their traffic tickets. So working together with all the stakeholders, the chief judge, the state's attorney and the public defender, the clerk of the court and the sheriff, we've now reduced the jail population to fewer than 6,000 people. So there's been a 40% reduction in the jail population by focusing on bond court and how those who are accused of nonviolent offenses are treated in bond court. And we've had a reversal. When we started this initiative, about 2/3 of the people who came into bond court got cash bonds and 1/3 were released on their own recognizance or got electronic monitoring. And now it's the reverse. 2/3 are released on their own recognizance or electronic monitoring, and 1/3 get cash bonds. And that's how we've driven down the jail population. Because jails in this country are poorhouses. They're also disproportionately places that house black and brown people. Half of our population in Cook County is African American and Latino, about equally divided, but 86% of the people in our jail are black and brown. So our jails are at the intersection of racism and poverty, and we should do whatever we can to see that those who are accused of nonviolent crimes do not spend time in jail as they await the disposition of their cases. So that's our second big focus. The third thing I've focused on is economic development. Earlier in my career, I worked for the City of Chicago Department of Economic Development, and I know that the importance of government action in this arena. So when I got elected, I asked for the head of the Bureau of Economic Development and discovered there wasn't one. So we created a bureau. We put together our community development, our capital planning, our building and zoning initiatives in one place where they'd previously been siloed, so we could have a comprehensive approach to economic development around the county. We also have a Council of Economic Advisors, headed now by John Rogers of Ariel Capital, which focuses on how we can relate better to the business community and kind of our broader perspective. And it was at their suggestion, at their impetus, that we brought together the leaders in the 7-county region, the political leaders, the business leaders, and the economic development professionals, to talk about how we could work together, because Northeastern Illinois is the economic engine of Illinois, the 7-county region. So that's not just Cook and the city of Chicago, but Lake, Kendall, Kane, McHenry, Will, and DuPage. And we have been working together since December of 2013. We formally incorporated last month, had a celebration, a kickoff. We're working in the areas of truck permitting, because we're the capital of the Midwest, and a transportation hub, and how to deal with oversized and overweight trucks is a real issue in the region. We're working with small and medium-sized firms to increase their exports, because firms that export have a better growth trajectory than those that depend entirely on the domestic market. So we're trying to do capacity building there. We're supporting the metalworking sector, because although we don't make steel much in the Lake Michigan basin anymore. We do have a lot of metal fabricators, and that sector is strong in all 7 counties. So we're trying to work with that industrial sector to promote it and encourage firms in that arena. And then finally, we're working on foreign direct investment. We have a lot of foreign direct investment in northeastern Illinois, and we're trying to get firms from outside the United States to invest and expand their investments in Cook County. So when I talk about the county and its mission and where my time and attention goes, is public health, public safety, and economic development.